What's up, everybody? Wow. We back. We're back before the weekend.
Happy Friday.
I had heard that Hegseth's confirmed.
Not yet. He has.
They haven't voted yet. No.
Yeah. Not yet.
I heard that he will be because there's only one person that can stop it. Who's the one person that can stop it?
Okay, so there's 3 Republicans right now, and one of them is our good old friend, Turtle Mitch McConnell.
Oh, of course.
He gonna have a stroke
because
before
somehow
that anyway.
that guy isn't gone, even though he literally had medical events. He's like over 90 years old, and he's like on death's door, but he's like, I'm still running the Senate. And then you're like, you can't run it anymore, man. You can't do that.
You can't run.
But he still won't leave.
Hang it up. Just let it go.
Walk it. He can probably walk it, but he can't run. I know that. The man can barely get to the bathroom, but he out here trying to tell us what to do. Funny stuff.
Damn,
I
man,
don't think he'll have any problem being confirmed. I think he'll make it as long as Fetterman's on our side. We fine.
I think that worst case scenario is Vance comes in and breaks the tie. That's literally all it's going to be. Hegseth is going to get confirmed. It's whether it's a big drama thing about it or not.
Right. What's up, Nate? Or is that Mike? Which one of y'all is it, Nate or Mike? Tell me now.
That's Nate. Mike doesn't talk
Nate
like that.
Or Mike?
Mike doesn't talk like that. Nate. That's Nate.
Mike would say, "Hello, fellas."
Hello, my kind fellows.
Gentlemen. What are y'all doing?
That's Nate.
Nate's a street guy.
See, I told you, it's Nate.
But everybody, meet Nate. Nate thinks he's native, but Nate is white. No, I'm just kidding. He native. He natively white. Natively white is what he is. You've seen him. I think he's been on here once before, but it's been at least a year.
Yeah.
He was going to be originally part of the crew, and he backed out. So, he found his niche. He found his niche. He found his peoples.
Yeah, make sure you guys check them out, too. Legislative Lounge.
Yeah, go check that channel out, and make sure you spam their content with all kinds of bad comments.
Just spam in there saying, I like the Savage Patriots.
We create a podcast war.
Hey, I prefer Savage Patriots.
I like the Savage Patriots. You guys don't have any black faces on your podcast.
Yeah. Y'all are running from.
Oh, yeah. That reminds me of AOC and how she's been going around making herself unelectable in 2 years.
You think
she's trying to look sexy to me, man?
Stop.
Oh, okay.
Stop that now.
What happened?
It's like, you know what, Mike? Why? Listen. If you wanted a job trying to undo the effects of Viagra, just say so, man. You can that alone would end it.
Yeah, true.
That alone would end it.
It's like you get certain attractive people in Congress, and they're the only ones there out of all the sea of old people. And that one just happens to be batshit. That's
Guano. We call her Guano.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't count, Nate. Doesn't count because there's no traces of it in your face. So sorry.
Yeah.
Nope.
Hey, I got 1%. I'm good.
We are not Elizabeth warning this at all for anybody. Okay. No.
I have more than Elizabeth's warning.
Pocahontas.
We not Pocahontas in this.
Yeah, Pocahontas.
I should make a black cookbook and sell it, and then try to get hired at Yale. To be an African American. Because that's legitimately what she did with her less than 1% native heritage.
That's literally it.
Sure.
Coy's cookbook of niggerism.
Damn,
amazing.
It's lots of fried chicken and watermelon. That's what it is.
Oh, only 2 recipes.
Yeah, it's nothing but
slice watermelon,
various forms of fried chicken and like watermelon salads and fried watermelon and watermelon infused teas.
You know what though? That might sell. I'm not gonna lie. I think white people might actually buy that, thinking a black person actually wrote it.
Yeah, it is selling a hood. I know that.
You know what? You're probably right.
Send me a picture. I'll just brown it up a little bit and put your face right on there like Aunt Jemima. It'll be great.
They brought Aunt Jemima back, by the way.
Yeah, she only back for a little bit. She only back for 4 years. She'll be leaving office again.
Deep fried watermelon cut
is actually good.
That's actually good. Yeah, but it has to taste like KFC. So you're getting both.
It's a twofer.
You get a twofer in there. It's Popeyes and watermelon at the same time.
It's watermelon flavored cornbread.
Popper melon.
That's
look, water fried chicken fried watermelon with Kool-Aid dipping sauce.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
How sweet the Kool-Aid though.
This did start out as originally being a serious show, but
Bruh. No, we
Well,
needed this. It's been a minute since we've been stupid, and so we need it.
No, that's great because like everything is stupid because like that's what the left has been doing, especially with the confirmation hearings, right? Is like AOC coming around here being like, we have to fight back.
Fight what though?
Against what? The popular mandate was people wanted these people to be deported, but you're complaining that they're deporting people that are rapists and killers.
But she doesn't want to be associated with a rapist. Like going to the rapist confirmation.
That's true.
You're right. That
is a great point. You know, you get these leftists on there. They're quick to call Donald Trump a rapist.
Yeah.
They didn't want him in office because of what he did to that old lady.
Oh, jeez.
But yet they're fighting for they're fighting for rapists that aren't citizens to stay in our country. Make it make sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So let's start with the first one that has been confirmed.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, we're gonna go with Rubio.
Nope, Radcliffe.
Radcliffe. Okay.
So let's hear.
Kennedy. Aye.
He looks like he might be getting it a pretty good one too. A pretty good.
Yeah, like the standard people get confirmed. Like Rubio was smooth sailing.
So
was that it?
The yeas are 74, the nays are 25. The nomination is confirmed.
Nice. So that's one down.
Wow, that's good.
That's one down.
That was a big one. Too.
Go ahead.
I was just wondering, is like I don't think there was really anybody going against Ratcliffe at all. Like same thing with Rubio. Rubio has been like sailing through. Stefanik's going to sail through. Like all the usual suspects you would think are going to sail through. We're going to sail through. Like nobody even complained about Rubio becoming Secretary of of Affairs.
Secretary of State.
Secretary of State. Yeah, I don't know why I blanked on that. Anyway, yeah, Secretary of State. Nobody complained that Rubio was going to be doing that, like at all. Yeah, there was no articles. There's no news. There was nothing. Nobody complained.
Yeah. Because Rubio's a rhino. We'll see. Let's hear it. See if Marlon has it.
Have what?
Yeah, the Rubio confirmation.
Is he confirmed?
Yeah, he's been. I think he's already been working.
Yeah, he was confirmed the other day.
Yeah,
let me find.
That's why this is my point. Is that he didn't even know that Rubio was even already like sailed through.
Yeah,
and being confirmed. Like he's like the first Cuban American to be Secretary of State. Like, or even Latino in general as being Secretary of State. Like that's
on this vote, the yeas are 99. The nays are 0.
Wow.
The nomination of the great Senator Marco Rubio from the state of Florida is confirmed.
I don't know if he made it. I think they need to revote.
Yeah, I know. Not a single one didn't vote for Rubio. Not a single one didn't. Like both Democrats, both Republicans voted for Rubio.
That's good. Well, you know why though?
Yeah, he's one of them.
Yeah, he's one of the boys.
Yeah.
And do you believe that Bondi will get in?
I think so. But it's one of those ones of she's qualified, but it's hard for them to attack her because she is qualified and a woman, so it makes them look like asses if they go after her too hard. They've done it. Like if you've seen some of the Senate confirmation stuff, they've gone after her, but it makes them look bad, especially like the older men going after the woman. Looks terrible optics wise for the left. So
Even if
they
she's
try not
white,
to
though?
do that too much. Yeah,
Even
even
if
though she's white, though.
Interesting.
Because
My-
if it was she's a little
Well-
higher on the hierarchy, but not just below white man, you know.
Yeah.
Do you? My biggest problem with her entire confirmation was on certain questions. It wasn't that she didn't answer; she did not answer confidently on a few of them.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I found that same thing with Hegseth. And I think it'll end up coming. I mean, there's no answer they can really give to Democrats to satisfy them. Let's just be honest about that. But
yeah,
I still think they could have answered certain questions a whole lot more definitively. And I'm with you, Benita. I don't necessarily trust him either.
Yeah. When you
however,
get 100 senators voting for you.
However, I have seen a switch in his stances within the last 2.5 years.
Yeah.
I will say that. Can they come around and start playing ball the right way? Yep. Can they do it in order to gain office? Yes. But I don't know that he was confident he was going to get nominated for anything, but his viewpoint changed long before he was even mentioned as an option. So
yeah,
I can hope that he's come around. I don't know that. I think time will tell. What I do hope Trump does is this. Any one of them that stops playing ball, boom, out.
Yeah, no, I agree.
And I mean, don't even play. The instant you start messing with the agenda, out. Just fire you. I'll find somebody else who go on total line. If you don't play, you're out.
I think we'll actually see that because of how he's been handling the disaster today. He went to both North Carolina and he's already just landed in California. Watched Newsom go kiss the ring a few minutes ago before I came on here. And pretty funny. He showed up and nobody knew he was going to show up, by the way. But I think it's going to change because he's already talking about getting rid of FEMA because of how badly they messed up. And the fact that they actually stopped serving people because they had Trump signs in front of the house. So I think this time around, if people do not play ball with him, he's not going to play anymore. He's not going to play both sides. He's not going to try to be liked in that way, especially from the peons in the bureaucratic government. He's just going to kick them out.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. And just get rid of FEMA. FEMA's useless.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Who set it up? Bush?
No. When was FEMA started? I have no idea. Actually,
FEMA was started right after Hurricane Katrina, wasn't it?
I thought, and that was under Bush's.
Was it
watch,
Bush? It was Bush.
Yeah.
Double check that for us.
Check the time. I'll check it. I'll fact check it.
Let's listen to the Hegseth side of it.
Mr. Hegseth, I do not believe that you are qualified to meet the overwhelming demands of this job.
Not the guy looking like a blobfish. Anyway, continue.
Department of Defense under Donald Trump will achieve peace through strength. And in pursuing these America First national security goals will remain patriotically apolitical and stridently constitutional.
You said in your statement, you don't want politics in the DOD. Everything you've said in these public statements is politics. I don't want women. I don't want moms. What's wrong with a mom, by the way?
Plenty is wrong with a mom.
I can explain a couple of things. Like this, when I watched this video, when I watched this live, it made me mad because like Michael and I can tell you specifically, there is a problem in the military where women will get pregnant on purpose in order to not to deploy.
That's a problem.
That is a problem. There, you cannot have force readiness if all of your female soldiers or Marines or anything else keep getting pregnant and they can't be deployed because they have a baby.
I will say this. I was an infantryman, so I didn't have to worry about women and their problems in our units. So, we did see it. It was a problem because, and it didn't happen a lot. It wasn't like a huge issue with these women going out here getting pregnant, but it did happen. They go out, they didn't want to deploy, they get pregnant, they end up staying back.
But isn't that kind of like draft dodging though? In essence,
it is.
Well,
but they can't do anything about it because it's their right to have children.
There is a rule. There is a rule that you can't get pregnant up to a certain time frame. So once you meet that gate right before the deployment, I think it was like 6 months or something like that. You cannot
once you have
try to get pregnant in that time.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
My issue here, and I'm gonna be sounding a little bit sexist, and I don't care. Y'all know I don't care when I say stuff that I say. I do not believe the military or any war zone is a place for a woman. I don't care how strong, I don't care how G.I. Jane you are. I'm not doubting your tenacity and your want to. The problem here is the build of a woman is not a space for that. When it comes down to it, in terms of percentage, you will rarely find women willing to do what most men are willing to do when it comes down to the hard choices. I don't care who you are. I don't care what you try to twist it and say women can do it. You can't. You can't do everything a man can do. Stop lying to yourself. It is impossible for you to do everything a man can do. You're not that capable. Okay? Stop listening to the fools trying to tell you stuff. It's not sexist. We can't do everything a woman can do. It's not sexist.
Yeah.
We admit that, and we're okay with that. But when it comes down to it, there are certain mental procedures that men go to first that women don't. And you know what that is? Logic. The emotional side of a woman will always win over logic. Case in point. Look at California and the little gay butch looking woman that's the head of the police of the fire department, right?
Oh gosh.
You ask, are you going to be able to lift my husband out? Well, maybe he shouldn't have got himself in that. That's a female response. A man would say, if I can't now, I'm going to hit the gym to make sure I can do it because that's my job.
Or another example. What about that whole Secret Service debacle that happened during the assassination attempt? A woman was there. She didn't go protect the president. She went to her baby, who wasn't even allowed to be in the first place. Remember that?
I do.
Yeah.
But it's not a knock against your gender. It's a knock about your capabilities in certain situations. It's just not how you're built. Now, you may not like that. Like I said, I don't care if you don't like it until you can prove to me on a actual large basis that you can prove to me that unequivocally, pound for pound, game for game, a woman can outdo a man. You're lying to yourself. I don't have to look further than the WNBA. That's as far as I need to look.
Yeah.
That's as far as I need to look. If you can't even perform as an athlete that's grown up playing the ball and you can't compete with men, then how are you going to compete with them when it comes to war? Come on now. Come on.
And that's the thing is like when with the whole thing he was talking about combat arms. Women in combat positions should not be allowed, period, because that's not a position they should be filling in the first place. You want men in a combat position. Can they be in the military? Absolutely. There are tons of other jobs in the military that are not directly combat arms related that they can fill, right?
Very.
But a force should not be dependent on whether a woman is there or not. And there are tons of other considerations, whether it be hygiene, whether it be pregnancy, and everything else that goes into the fact that infantry is not a place where a woman belongs, just period.
And that's intended. And that's true because, as an infantryman, when we do field training exercises, we go 30 days or more without even showering. No, barely any hygiene.
Yeah.
Women have different needs when it comes to the hygiene side, as we all know. So, for them to be in combat arms and you could be out at a site somewhere in a combat zone up in the mountains of Afghanistan, as we did back then, you could be up there for 1, 2, 3, 4, a month. You could just be up there in the middle of nowhere. And if you got those issues, there's no way for us to, help you with that.
And we're not even talking about the base level thing either, where if you put men and women in a life and death situation, people are going to do what people do, and they're going to be banging each other at one point or another. There's a reason why you try to separate these things in certain situations. It's because when you're about to die, everything looks like a 10, and I don't care how it happens.
The biggest issue for me is this. Let's just take your monthly cycle. If not taken well care of, it can cause complications health-wise.
Easily.
Okay, so now you are trying to add an extra layer of protections that you should not have to worry about out there. Suppose you get shot and it's that time. What happens there? What happens there? So the problems can be so much more problematic if you're not looking at things logically. And these people like Gillibrand who are idiots from birth, it seems, always have to try and get you. She's proof. This is proof. How she behaves is proof that you should not even be in the position that she's in. Listen to this part.
By the way, once you have babies, you therefore are no longer able to be lethal.
I've never disparaged women serving in the military. I respect every single female service member that has put on the uniform, past and present. My critiques, Senator, recently and in the past, and from personal experience, have been instances where I've seen standards lowered.
Would you use our military to take over Greenland or an ally of Denmark?
Yes.
Senator, one of the things that President Trump is so good at is never strategically tipping his hand. And so I would never in this public forum give one way or another direct what orders the president would give me in any context.
That sounds to me that you would contemplate carrying.
See, the emotional side just took over.
It sounds
Is it logical? Is it logical to tell everybody your plan for military? No. No. Oh, well, it sounds to me like you would. What?
Jeez.
Well, we might go through the front door, kick it in at about 9 p.m. on the 15th of December. That's what we're planning to do. Is that good enough for you?
Yeah.
And we're going to bring 20 soldiers carrying M4s and rockets. And we're going to line up right here on this street,
by the way,
at this time. I mean, come on, people.
We're going to get 20 women soldiers to do all that too.
Many of your work colleagues have said that you show up for work under the influence of alcohol or drunk. I know you've denied that, but you would agree with me, right, that if that was the case, that would be disqualifying for.
So, okay, if it's not the case, why am I addressing it? And if you know it's a disqualifier, why are you asking it? You're just trying to hope that he would say, well, I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know. How is that a question even remotely? You said, it's been said, alleged. You've denied it. Instead of asking, can you deny it now on the floor? No, you said you have to admit that would be a Well, that's not understand. Tim Kaine is also very feminine too.
For somebody to be secretary.
Look at his hair.
Senator, those are all anonymous false claims, and the totality.
They're not anonymous.
The letters on the record here.
They're not anonymous.
On the record.
We've seen records with names attached to them.
Senator Kaine, or I guess I better use the senator from Virginia, starts bringing up the fact that what if you showed up drunk to your job? How many senators have showed up drunk to vote at night?
Uh-oh.
Have any of you guys asked them to step down and resign from their job?
Nope.
And don't tell me you haven't seen it, because I know you have.
I don't want a long answer. Yes or no? Have you led an audit of any organization of which you were in charge?
Senator, in both of the organizations I ran, we were always completely fiscally responsible.
Yes or no? Did you lead an audit?
And the way
yes
my
or no? Did you lead an audit?
Stated,
yes or no?
Completely
what are you afraid of? You can't answer this question. Yes or no? Did you lead an audit? Do you not know this answer?
Senator, every part of my leadership of these organizations, I'm not a perfect person, but redemption is real. And God forged me in ways that I know I'm prepared for. And I'm honored by the people standing and sitting behind me. I look forward to leading this panel.
Yes or no?
So here's the thing. I mean, is it? Yeah, I was gonna say, is it like fighting with an ex-girlfriend over like in public? That's what it reminds me of when I hear some of these senators talk to them, because it's like, especially when they're being emotional, it's like that reminds me of a fight I had with a very emotional ex at one point or time in the past. They were very emotional. Same thing with Kaine. It's the same situation. I'm not trying to be sexist here. It's not just women.
It's just
and do you really think that if that was a Democrat sitting up there to confirm him, do you think she would have went off like that?
No.
I knew it was longer ago than
Yeah, it was 1979 is when it was first founded, and their annual budget is $33 billion, and they have 17,000 plus employees.
Fired them all. They're useless.
Yeah, we could say that.
I knew it was longer than
$33 billion by doing so.
Yeah,
I knew it was longer ago than that. So they've been around for 45 years and accomplished 45 years worth of nothing.
In nothing. Every single time they've been involved in anything, it's been crap.
Let's listen to the Mr. Man here. Let's watch this little clip.
Oh, look, Black Jesus.
Yes, bleaches.
Those who enter the country illegally and those who employ them disrespect the rule of law and they are showing disregard for those who are following the law.
All Americans, not only in the states most heavily affected, but in every place in this country, are rightly disturbed by the large numbers of illegal aliens entering our country. The jobs they hold might otherwise be held by citizens or legal immigrants. The public service they use impose burdens on our taxpayers.
I think we can enforce our borders. I think we should enforce our borders.
If making it easy to be an illegal alien isn't enough, how about offering a reward for being an illegal immigrant? No sane country would do that.
Yes, sir.
Everything that they're saying is very xenophobic.
It's very, isn't it?
Yeah, I know, right?
Very.
You know who I've heard this from? And it's not just Trump. I've heard one of the other nominees say something like this. What's his name? Holman.
Oh, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Ain't it
I
weird?
don't think he's even being nominated for anything. He's just going to be the border czar from now on.
He's just going to get it.
But they wouldn't confirm him last time.
A couple of different issues. We're talking about, do we have a commitment to secure the border? Yes. What are the options that we have available to us? Let's make sure they work. Because we do, while we need to address the issue of immigration and the challenge we have of undocumented people in our country, we certainly don't want any more coming in.
Approaching immigration
This is blatant
reform, I believe
racism
we
and white
must
supremacy.
enact tough, practical reforms that ensure and promote the legal and orderly entry of immigrants into our country.
People who enter the United States without our permission are illegal aliens, and illegal aliens should not be treated the same as people who entered the U.S. legally.
To have a situation where 40% of the babies born on Medicaid in California today are born of illegal immigrants.
Whoa,
Racist.
Hang on. That one statement there. You know what that reminds me of? The fight they're having over, what's that, the birthright thing?
Yes. Yeah, birthright citizenship. I was going to bring that up. So, interesting thing. The 14th Amendment, when it was originally wrote, even the guy that wrote it specifically mentioned, I'm not talking about foreign nationals or people who come here and have children. Like, legitimately mentioned the fact that people that are not of the jurisdiction of the United States, not half jurisdiction, but full jurisdiction, of people who are citizens of the United States, if they have children, they have birthright citizenship. Not because you come here on a vacation, you need to pop out a kid. No sane country anywhere in the world does that. Not a single one. We are the only ones that do that.
And it's insane to me. Yeah. It's absolutely insane to me. Now, here's the thing. Here's where my caveats end. If you enter illegally, there's no protections for you whatsoever. And I mean zero, zilch, none. You get no protections. I don't care how you made it here illegally. Once you're here illegally, you're done. If you come here with a visa legally, you come here to everything that you've done is legal. I don't see how you don't get the protections that you're supposed to, because you're under the protections of the paperwork that you're writing. But these people expect all the protections of stuff that they don't want because they come here legally, and they don't want to abide by the rules while here, and then fight you to stay here to continue being illegal.
That's right.
Yeah.
Reaping all the benefits of legal citizens.
Insane to me.
That's why it's insane, the fact that we allow illegals to stay here. They have children, and those children are citizens. And now they're talking about, well, why we can't separate families. They broke the law coming here in the first place. Even if somebody had a visa, had a kid here, they would still send them back, because that's what you would do. The kids go with the parents because they're their children. If they want to come back when they're an adults, more than happy to. You've got your citizenship. You can do that. But until then, you go back with mom and dad.
I mean, yeah, and Tom Homan, he said it best. He said, what happens when someone gets pulled over for a DUI and they go to jail? Do you separate that person from their kids?
Yeah.
So it's no different than somebody crossing the border, breaking in the law, and getting separated from their kids. What is the difference in those law breaking? You know what I mean? So yeah, they need to pay, and that's something they should have thought about before they knew they were breaking the law, because when they crossed over, they knew they were doing something wrong. They knew it. You know, and there's consequences to breaking the law here in America. You're about to face them. Sorry.
Do you think Stefanik will get nominated?
At least Stefanik, yes. I think so.
I'm worried about that one for two reasons. She strikes me a little bit she's strong on certain stances when it comes to the talking to people in her capacity of hearings and stuff. But I'm not. Me personally, this is who I would have picked for that position. Me, I would have gone after. Although she's over Arkansas right now, it would be Huckabee.
Yeah.
I would have picked Huckabee. The reason I'd have picked Huckabee because when I watched her deal with the press, it was exquisite. I would have loved to seen that on an international stage. That's just me. The question here now remains is this, and this might be neither here nor there. Is she's going to be over the UN, right? Is that what the plan was?
I think so.
The ambassador.
What she was exactly supposed to be.
So if we're no longer
Kristi Noem is Homeland Security.
So ambassador to the UN is what she's supposed to be being, right?
Mm-hmm.
If we are withdrawing from the UN, would we still need her?
Depends, and if we pull out. But for now, I mean, I don't see why she wouldn't get sent through because it's kind of a nobody cares about that position
Mm-hmm.
kind of situation. You don't have any real power. You're just a figurehead. Go talk in front of the UN, say whatever we tell you to say. That's it. So I mean, it's just it's a glorified press secretary position. So I don't see why she wouldn't.
That to me is of all the people I think will never ever see the light of day of confirmation. The biggest one I think is RFK.
That one's going to be a huge fight for sure.
I don't think he will. I don't think he will. I really don't think so.
I don't think Kristi Noem gets through. I think
don't
she's
think she
probably
will
the
either.
one
I agree with
that
that.
gets shot down. I think Kristi Noem, Bondi's going to get through. It'll be close.
What about Collins? He's up for the VA secretary.
Probably. I don't see why not. I mean,
it's
a VA secretary.
Nobody cares about that.
Position.
Nobody cares about.
It's like Sean Duffy for transportation secretary. Those positions nobody's going to care about. It's the big ones that you have to look at, like DHS, like CIA, like Homeland Security, like FBI. Those are the ones that people actually care about.
But my question is, what has Kristi Noem done to prove that she's qualified for Homeland Security?
That's the point that I would make too, and that's what they're going to make in the Senate is that she's not qualified, period, to do anything. And then the whole shooting her dog thing's probably going to come up a few times.
Oh, that will come up.
So,
yeah, they like harping on stuff like that.
It's just one of those things of like I don't know why she was nominated for Homeland Security.
I don't either.
Maybe it was a campaign promise or something. There are other people who they probably could have put in there. Like you probably could have put Pete Hegseth as DHS, and that would have made a little more sense to me. But
or Tulsi. If you want to go women,
Tulsi, I mean, I like Tulsi.
Nominated her for anything?
Who?
Tulsi Gabbard. Was she nominated for anything?
Yeah, no. Tulsi's going to be for DNI. So
I
like,
I would have swapped it out. I would have put her as a Homeland Security.
I would have put her as DHS, but DNI controls all of the intelligence apparatus, so she would be in charge of all of the spies, everybody.
So it's a toss-up.
And she's somebody you would trust because she doesn't like regime change stuff. She's anti-war. She's probably the person that would keep us out of problems.
And then with Kash Patel as head of FBI, it would be
exactly. And then
maybe
being in the CIA director position too.
Maybe bring back Fauci to head up the.
Fauci's going to jail.
Yeah,
no, he's
pardoned something, man.
Pardoned.
He's only pardoned for the things he did in the past. He doesn't get a future pardon.
You don't know that. You don't know that. That could be the secret deal they made. I think in overall, I'm okay with the picks that he had. And when he first brought them out, I think we were looking at them saying, okay. And there were a few that went, and some of them have switched out to different people. I'm more confident of his cabinet now than I was in 16, 15, that area. That was way more.
These are solid people.
Yeah.
And they're all Trump. They're all Trump picks for the most part, except for Rubio. Rubio, I think, was a compromise.
Establishment appeasement.
Do you think he did that? Do you think that he would have given Rubio the chance just
Rubio
because the
was an
establishment wanted?
establishment?
He has to have.
I absolutely think it was.
You remember we've talked about this. they got to get their people in there. If he wants the rhinos on the right to work with him,
he got to do it.
He has to take someone that they pick. Has to. So
work
with us. We'll work with you.
Rubio is the least. Sorry, go ahead.
Give us Ted or Marco Rubio, and we'll push this forward for you. We'll work with you on this. If you would have said no to Rubio, it would have been hell, even more hell for him. It's already going to be hard.
He would not get anything passed through with the Republicans. Rubio was his coin ticket, and Rubio is non-threatening in the very best possible way. He can't really do anything to begin with. He's non-threatening.
But doesn't that pose another problem? Because if he's getting pushback, he's going to fold like an omelet.
I don't know.
Yes.
That's the part
But
what
he
I'm
has
talking
Trump
about.
behind him, so.
This is what I'm thinking about Rubio. Remember, I told you that I think he swapped a lot of his viewpoints. I don't know that he would fold anymore. I don't know. I've seen a little bit more strength out of him over the last 2-3 years, and I think what did that was how stupid Biden was. I think this last regime did two things. It fully identified every single rhino, like every last one. We have no more equivocations as to who they are. And the ones that were bordering on being rhinos decided to be or decided not to be. And I think Rubio might have been establishment. And when they had thought about him, they put him in as one, but I don't think he's going to hold the establishment line. I'm hoping so too, yes, but I don't think he will.
Right.
But I also think that's why Trump picked Rubio, is because even if he does try to do establishment stuff, he's, like I said, he's non-threatening. He's not he's not going to be a problem if he gets all of the other people he wants in the positions that actually have power. Like D&I, the Health and Human Services for him, for RFK, and then having Ratcliffe at the CIA and having Kash Patel at the FBI, like having the intelligence apparatus under your absolute control is what he really wants.
That's
so
pivotal.
like giving Rubio the Secretary of State position. Okay, whatever. I at least have the intelligence apparatus under my control. That's the only thing that matters to him.
Yeah.
There are two things I want to see happen over the next year. This is me. I'm not speaking for anybody else on the panel, just so everybody knows. The two things I want to see happen over this next year, I want to see the Epstein files released, and I want to see Kash Patel not only go after the deep state, and I really mean this, not just like randomly going after the deep state. I mean investigating and this is going to go hand in hand with the Doja thing. Go hand in hand with it by looking into every bit of money used to jeopardize the American population, jeopardize the American government, and arrest every single politician that had a hand in it. That's what I want to see.
I agree.
I want to see heads roll. I want to see arrests made. I don't want to just have a bunch of investigations going on day in, day out, stupid questions being asked. Did you know? Did you not know? Like they did with Hillary Clinton. I don't want that. When she blatantly lies in front of them, you stop the hearing and say, whoop, whoop, arrest her. You lied.
For the world to see.
No more hearing. The hearing's over. The instant you lie in front of us, the hearing's done. I don't see why you continue asking the same stupid question over and over when you know blatantly you can go back and look at records and know they lied. The fact that she got called here at 2 a.m., 3 a.m., and you did nothing, and then you come back and tell us you didn't know, you lied, jail.
Also, Marlon, would you also include the repealing of like the new version of the Patriot Act in Section 230?
I'd reverse it all the way back before. Take it away fully.
Yeah.
9/11 was a hoax. We know that. Nothing happened on 9/11 from any terrorists. That was an American power grab to get your information. Erase the Patriot Act altogether. Get the government out of my phones.
And declassify everything from the war in Iraq as far back as you can go, and show the people that a lot of these wars, as Marlon stated, was planned by us. We're the ones who did this, and show it just like you're doing with these. Show it just like you're doing with these JFK files and all these files, and you're declassifying it. Declassify everything and let the American people see it.
Period. Now, if the only way to get that done is through money trail. Money trail and email coordinations. Look, they already happened with Zuckerberg and proof that the Biden missed. This is, now hear me out. I would think, this is just me, I would think that you having proof that the administration is coercing people like Zuckerberg to purposefully curtail information that they deem wrong when it's not is punishable.
Yep.
But it's obviously not, because the Biden regime got away with it.
Yeah.
So I don't know how you're going to hold them accountable. The only way I can see you holding them accountable is with money. And I don't mean sue them. I mean find where they got paid to push certain things, to say certain things, and to promote certain things that was obviously against the public interest, especially when it violates the Constitution.
Yeah.
Mainly
I think
the
we're already
first
seeing that.
And what was that
Like-
act Obama? What was that act Obama passed about allowing propaganda?
Smith months.
Smith.
Yeah.
That's one.
Smith month,
Yeah.
Yep. So you're looking at
Brings
that.
it
That has to be gone. I mean, I'm pretty
Bringing
much
back
signed off
that.
on-
Yeah, bring that back.
Yeah, he pretty much signed off on it with executive order allowing, free speech, but you have to rescind that act. You have to say, this is no more in our country.
No,
And then
Michael, we want the Smith months act back.
what, the propaganda?
Obama- No,
I'm sorry. Yeah,
No,
I'm talking about how he rescinded it. And
yeah.
Yeah.
we don't want
But no-
propaganda.
I think we're already seeing that. Like I said, we're already seeing that happen because media is failing, and CNN's already going to be laying off a ton of people. Like the
That's not
vibe in
just
America has shifted, and everybody has already felt it. Right? See how all of the billionaires were at the inauguration, and they were all for the Trump agenda. Right? Every single one of them that were against him just a few months ago were now stepping in line. That's the same thing with everybody else. All of these maybe never Trumper Democrats that used to exist are kind of going, well, maybe we should come more center again than we had been, because a lot of people voted against us and we don't want to be on the losing side. So all these fair weather friends are coming back to this way. So I think we're already seeing that shift and change, especially when we see how people are reacting to Trump actually getting things done. They didn't even know what a president was like anymore because they forgot what it was like 4 years ago, because they haven't seen one in 4 years. So Trump, even like not even a week in, has already done multiple interviews, multiple appearances, multiple of these executive actions, and he's already done a trip to North Carolina and California all in the first week. Biden never did any of that in months or years even. So like I think we'll see that. We'll see a lot of change happening where there's going to be a shift of people going, yeah, but Trump's cool. And you already see that where they're wearing Trump hats in LA and New York, right? We're already seeing in these really deep blue areas them wearing Trump paraphernalia. Like all that stuff's coming out. It's cool to be with Trump now. Just like Snoop Dogg, right? It's cool to get paid by Trump like it wasn't 8 years ago.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to go over one other person I think that is I don't think many are talking about, and that is the agriculture nominee, the Secretary of Agriculture.
Yeah.
Bring her up here.
Senator Marshall. Thank you, Chairman, Ranking Member. Ms. Rollins, welcome.
Thank you.
Just want to know if you agree with me that whole milk is the most nutritious drink known to humankind and belongs in our school lunches.
Senator, I don't know that you have met my mom yet, but this is all we had in our refrigerator growing up. Not anything else, just whole milk. She is absolutely never going to let us forget this, the fact that this is coming up. But yes, this hits home to me very, very quickly. It brings back a lot of memories.
So, Ms. Rollins, like many of us on this committee, you have a love, a passion for rural America, for agriculture. Tell us where that comes from and why this job is important to American agriculture in rural America. Just from your
Now, the reason I wanted to play the clip was this twofold. The reason for the banter about the whole milk and all that stuff, if you go back into what RFK was saying, is what they've tried to sneak in on the backs of things that they call healthier options, when it's actually worked out to be much less healthier options. When I lived in Arkansas, it was one of the best times for milk back then. You drank straight from pretty much just a little short of the cow. People say, well, you shouldn't be. Cow milk is not for humans. Where did you find that from? And please tell me how you got that into your head that cow's milk is not for human consumption.
Hey, here's a bit of historical knowledge for you. The only reason the Hun army was able to win as much as they did is because they were drinking horse milk. By the way,
not the kind Tim.
It
not
could be worse.
Tim Waltz, not the Tim Waltz milk. Okay, big difference.
not
Not
that
Tim
one.
Waltz horse milk.
what actual
organ.
Wait. Yeah. Sorry. I had a family member call me at that, but I heard something about horse milk.
I was saying that historical fact, the only reason the Huns were able to conquer as much as they were is because they had horse milk.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Real horse milk, not Tim Walz horse milk.
Yeah,
okay.
not Tim Walz horse milk.
I was more interested in the Tim Walz horse milk.
No.
Never mind.
The Huns did not do Tim Walz horse milk. Okay. I want to make that abundantly clear. You want to know Attila the Hun family coming to find me? I'm saying they did like female horse milk. Okay, not male horse milk. Okay,
not horse.
Okay,
bump.
so I agree with you, Marlon, on this because like milk is one of those things that like you can't even get raw milk because it's illegal.
Mm-hmm.
And there are reasons for it. There were there were legitimate reasons of it in the past. We're talking about like 1920s type passes when like they started to outlaw stuff like this. But like these things existed for a very long time and are healthy, except if you have a cow that's pumped full of hormones and chemicals. You probably don't want to drink that milk because that's the thing that's going to cause problems. But the point is that RFK and this person are going to have to work hand in hand in order to get all of this stuff out of our food because our food is literally poisoning every single one of us.
Yep. Now, the reason I think they don't want RFK in, this is just me. Again, I only speak for me. Yep. The main reason I think is not his qualifications. What he's espousing is going to limit the amount of lobbyists that come to people to pass laws for pharmaceuticals within our foods, and they lose money.
That's good.
Now, you already talk about pulling fluoride out the water. The amount of Congress and senators that are benefiting from that because they have already been lobbied by people who want that in there because it's not just the fluoride people, it's the doctors, it's pharmaceutical, all of it. So the effect of all the stuff that's in your food, they've been lobbied for. So they don't want RFK in there because what happens when you have a healthy population? They think more.
They lose money.
When a population thinks, they can't get the wool pulled over.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
And if you have a functional society where the brain works and the body works, it's very hard to push propaganda.
That's
RFK
right.
understands that. And the people that know how to push it understand it as well. Why do you think they don't want him? It's not because he's unqualified. It's not. That's why they want people like Fauci. Now, understand this. People are all about animal rights in this country, right? Yet and still, they were fine with a man that killed beagles by putting worms into their brains.
Yeah.
They were fine with him abusing animals as long as he pushed the company line.
That's right.
Okay? This is why they don't want RFK in there. It's not his unqualifications. Because like I said, they listen to that monkey, Bill Gates. He doesn't have a medical degree. Yet still he's over vaccines.
Mm-hmm.
Make sense. The man doesn't know anything medically, right? But he's over vaccines.
And this is the same Bill Gates that got on a TED Talk that talked about depopulation.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. We have that.
Reducing the population. Yeah. And you want to listen to this guy about what to put in your body. And to your lobbyist point, there's already like talk about removing lobbyists from politics because of all the stock market trading, this insider trading. So they're already talking about getting rid of that, which they should. And then they're also talking about all these lobbyists, putting money into politics, which they're trying to get rid of. And we've talked about this on the show about they need to get rid of lobbyists. Yeah. Once you get rid of lobbyists, you will force these politicians to make decisions, not with the money they're receiving, but make decisions based off what the people they represent want.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And that's the other thing is they've essentially made it illegal for you to grow your own food or to raise your own food, especially in the cities. There's no possible way, unless you want to get abreast of the HOA, right? You can't have your chickens. You can't have your small animals. You can't have your gardens. You can't have any of these things. And then they complain about a food desert when you're not allowed to grow your own food in the city.
Yeah. Right. You can't do wheat.
It's so crazy.
Can't do none of it. I had a friend bring me some real eggs, and I mean real eggs. She has her own chickens, and she brought me 2 cartons. The difference in taste is astronomical. When I tell you, you don't have to add anything to these eggs. Yeah. I fried one up, and I thought I need to add. I didn't need salt. I didn't need. And it was so rich The yolk was just yum compared to a bland regular store-bought egg.
Yep.
It was insane. And then she also had goose eggs for me too.
Oh.
And quail eggs. Now, quail eggs, I would swap out chicken eggs for quail eggs any day. They're that much richer.
How many you got to eat?
Well, yeah.
Like 10?
Well, here's
like
the thing.
18.
And okay, you might think because they're small, they're not satisfying enough, right?
Yeah.
But because of how much protein and nutrients are in them, they're so compact. I only had to have like 3.
Yeah,
now, my brain was saying I need more, but my body was saying I'm fine. I'm good. I don't need no more.
And when it comes to fruit, man, you know, everyone loves these seedless this, seedless that, seedless, you know, all that stuff genetically modified. And so they create this stuff to take the seeds out. So you don't do what? You don't use the seeds. Why?
Right.
Because the seeds are patent. Once they start doing this, whatever they do to these seeds and they grow these products, that seed has a patent on it. This is why, as Coy stated, you can't grow in certain states. You're not allowed to have a garden. You're not allowed to grow this because the seeds you buy are patents.
Yeah.
You got to get
Did you know that pork isn't supposed to be white?
Well, certain parts of it.
No. All of the meat. The reason why the pork you eat now looks white is because they're factory raised. They're not raised properly. So if you actually have like pasture raised pork, or if you have wood raised pork, they have a darker, deeper color than white.
Much deep red, pinkish kind of thing.
Yeah, it's because our pigs were modified with white people, and that's
them long shanks,
breeding.
right? That's what
they crossbreed with Caucasians and created.
Yeah.
That's why black
the other white meat.
That's why black people are always like, I don't eat no pork.
I don't eat no pork. Well, talk for yourself.
I'm
a fan of pork. Okay.
But it is true. Is like all of the things that we're eating are all caused by factory farming that is not in the least bit healthy for any of us. It might get us more meat faster, but all of that stuff is poisonous now.
But I have a counter to that. I think, in all fairness to the farmers, I think if we went back to dealing directly with the farmers will make more money.
Yep.
Secondarily, if you leave us to do what we want to do, we may not need the factories. If I want to have my own food and I can do it myself, why do I need to go to anybody to get it? I should be free to do it myself. If you say we're such a free country. And if I wanted to go to my specific farmer to get that done, I will pay him whatever he charges me. He doesn't have to have a market set price either. So overall, the reasons why they don't want certain people in power is because they have a certain setup right now where the people that are setting prices, market values, and all that crap are skimming off the top, and they're making things difficult because red tape brings them funds.
That's right.
RFK is going to want to come in and screw up the whole system the same way they didn't like Trump, because Trump was going to mess up the whole system of how they make money. This is why they hate all the picks that he's made. They hate them because they're going against what the status quo has been for the last 100, 200 years.
Yep.
So if you think about it, as soon as Trump implements his income tax, repealing the income tax deal, we'll now have an average extra of maybe $12,000 to $15,000, $17,000 extra in our bank. And if because of the the Chevron deference, now these agencies and bureaucracies cannot come down on us with fines unless there's a congressional law in place, which means now that we have more money to be able to do some of the things that you said, Marlon, like raise our own food, grow our own herbs and vegetables and stuff like that, because we've got the money now to do it.
Right.
Yep.
So I mean, that's just the logical thinking, and that's why I think everybody's so threatened by Trump, is because he's allowing the American people to thrive in a manner that they were supposed to do before the 1920s.
Right.
And it's the way it's supposed to be. You know, we're actually, and everybody hates the term, we're actually supposed to be sovereign citizens. You know, the government's not supposed to have any type of say-so in our life whatsoever, how we move, what we eat, how we operate. But it seems like now they got their hand in everything. If you grow a garden and the garden's a certain width, certain height, certain whatever, here comes the freaking Food and Drug Administration.
Yeah.
telling you, hey, it has to be this type of sand. We got to check your soil. We got to do this. What type of fruit?
Yeah.
They got their hands all in it. And what does that do to people? They're like, man, I don't want to pay these fines. I'm not paying it. Forget it. I'll just buy it from the store.
Control.
It's all control.
And that's true. And one of the things that I find funny about this whole situation is the fact that the Republicans have been complaining about making government smaller, but as soon as somebody comes along wanting to make government smaller, they go, whoa, hang on a second.
Yeah.
Hold up a minute. Yeah, because that's all these Republicans are doing in Congress right now is like he's actually nominating people that are going to shrink the size of government, and they're upset that he's going to shrink the size of government. Then you're not really Republicans. You're not really conservatives then if you're advocating for not getting people on that are going to do the thing that you advocate for years.
You're mob bosses. That's what you are.
Yeah.
That part.
You're in there for the money, and if people don't toe the line to your way, you extort them out of their money through fines, jail time, and everything else, while you guys are over here doing whatever you want. So it's mob rules, mob style. They're mobsters.
I want to say is like, even though Donald Trump's in office and he won, like we still have to hold him accountable for what he does and what he says. Right now, he's doing great things. The thing that made me upset before he got in was that Trump coin stuff. That was stupid. I hate that. I really hate that. I don't like the idea of him trying to buy TikTok for the government, because that means the government's going to be responsible for TikTok, and when he's out of office, another Democrat's going to come in and control it. I don't like that.
Right.
None of those things I like, and we should call him out on that for that. For that reason alone.
I don't think it'll go through.
I love Trump.
One, I don't think the government's ever going to own TikTok. I hope he'll think about it on that level, but outside of that level, I don't think that'll happen. Now, what I do see happening is somebody else buying it, and I'm not going to mention anybody's name. I'm not going to mention any names. However,
I throw my heart out to you.
There might be. I ain't even going to do that no more. I'm not telling you why I'm doing it. I'm just going to do it. You can't stop me. What you going to do?
Cry.
You ever seen a black Nazi? No. So shut up. If you want to see one, call me that. Whatever you want. I am whatever you call me. How about that?
Yep. Own it.
Outside.
Own it.
Own it. Yeah. That's what you want to believe. That's what you believe. It's not like I make sense out of you anyway. You stupids. I'm not going to make you happy. Make sense. So I want to listen to this exchange between Bonnie and a few people here.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
One person in particular, by the way.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Ms. Bondi, as you know, the Supreme Court in Trump versus United States held the president has absolute immunity to commit crimes in certain core areas of the president's responsibility. One of those core areas is the Justice Department. So
untrue. So this is what I meant. These people have been allowed to stand there and blatantly lie about obviously provable lies. Like you can go right now to the decision that was made about immunity, and you can see right off the top he lying.
Yep. Hey, look who's talking though. It's expected.
It's Schiff.
Shifty-eyed Schiff.
Shifty-eyed Schiff. Yeah.
Okay. You can tell the man's lying.
in a breathtakingly dangerous and irresponsible decision, Justice Roberts and the majority held the president can commit crimes using the Department of Justice and be immune from prosecution.
Please, Coy, do me a favor. Find where it says that. Oh, wait, I'm asking the impossible because it doesn't say that.
It doesn't exist. Yeah, I was about to say, it's like, I don't think I could do that, man.
It doesn't say that, not even in the least.
Yeah, no.
It says that the president can commit crimes. Where does it say that, Adam?
It doesn't.
Where does it say that? These are the kinds of people I wish we had stockades for. Like really, I wish they had stockades. And you wouldn't need a hole more than that for his neck, but his head wouldn't be able to fit out as long as his head fits into this big old bobblehead. Where does it say that?
Yeah.
And he's allowed to be on public airtime saying this nonsense.
It's actually funny because in the same point of the confirmation process, and he's asking these questions, she mentions the fact that he was censored by Congress for lying.
I think it's close.
Yeah, that's in there.
Justice Sotomayor correctly said this new immunity lies about like a loaded weapon. So the fear and the concern we have is that the incoming president will use that loaded weapon, that immunity, to commit crimes through the Department of Justice. And for that reason, it is all the more important that we have an attorney general who has the independence, the strength, the intestinal fortitude to say no to the president when it is necessary. So my first set of questions has to do whether you have the independence to say no when you must say no. And you can say this is hypothetical, but it is not hypothetical.
Yes, it is.
So let me start with one very specific non-hypothetical. The president has said Jack Smith should go to jail.
He should.
Will you investigate Jack Smith?
Yes.
Senator, I haven't seen the file. I haven't seen the investigation. I haven't looked at anything. It would be irresponsible of me to make a commitment regarding anything without, you're a long practicing attorney, without looking at a file.
So you would need a factual predicate to open an investigation of Jack Smith.
No duh.
Not a summary by you sitting here. Yes, sir.
And not a summary by
Because if we remember right, this person was censored by Congress for lying and making things up, also leaking secret documents, actual like classified documents to the press on investigations that he was a part of.
Yeah, and they get into that towards the end. She actually calls him out on that.
The president either, right?
Absolutely.
So a summary by the president or his desired investigation.
Did you not just answer the question?
Mm-hmm.
Jack Smith would not be enough for you to open an investigation of Jack Smith. Is that right?
I will look at the facts and evidence in any case. You know,
and sitting here, sitting here today,
Senator, 72% of Americans
I only have
have
7
lost
minutes.
faith in the Department of Justice.
Sitting here today, are you aware of any factual predicate to investigate Jack Smith?
4 times he asked the same damn question. 4 times she told him, no, I don't see nothing. I haven't seen anything. I wouldn't do it without having facts. What else do you want?
Because it's not the answer he wants. He wants the answer. He wants her to say no so they can have her on record saying no. So if she does it, they can call her out on it.
Well, just say I plead a Biden. I can go back and change my mind.
I plead the 5th.
If I was her, I would have hit him with the asked and answered congressman, or sorry,
there you go.
Senator.
Here today, yes or no?
Senator, I will look at the facts and the circumstances.
You can't answer that question. You're not a part of the department yet. There's no worry about divulging
I'm sitting
law
here as a
enforcement
nominee.
sensitive information. So just tell us,
I'm
are you
sitting here as
aware?
a nominee.
Just tell us, are you aware of a factual predicate to investigate Jack Smith? Yes or no?
Senator, what I'm hearing on the news
Are
is
you aware
horrible.
of a?
Do I know if he committed a crime? I have not.
You seem reluctant to answer a simple question. Let me ask you a different simple question. The president also wants to jail Liz Cheney, sitting here today.
As he should. She should be in jail too, yes, because of her influence over government funding for war machines, just like her stinking, worthless piece of shit father. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, they should all be in jail.
I would go simple for that. How about destroying evidence?
All of it.
Are you aware of any factual basis to investigate Liz Cheney? Yes or no?
Senator, that's a hypothetical, and I'm not going to answer that question.
No, it's not hypothetical. I'm asking you, sitting here today, whether you are aware of a factual predicate to investigate Liz Cheney.
Senator, no one
Based
has
on
asked
what you
me
know.
to investigate Liz Cheney. That is a
The
hypothetical.
president has called for it publicly. You are aware of that, aren't you?
Did you not hear what she said? No one's asked her.
Yeah.
You're asking her, right? You're not asking the public. You're asking her. See, this is probably why I would never, ever get nominated for anything, because that's exactly how I'd approach him. I'd say, if you would shut up long enough for me to answer the question, maybe you can get an answer, but you don't know how to shut up. You have 2 ears, but it seems to me like you got 2 mouths in 1 ear. So you want me to answer the question, you can shut up and listen, or you can keep talking and never get an answer. Pick one. That's how I would approach him.
His days are numbered.
Look, I would have laced this dude up one side. I would have called him every name, and I wouldn't care if I made the nomination because I'd have made him feel small. I'd have done my job.
No one has asked me to investigate.
But the president
Liz.
has
We're
called-
also
the
worried
president-
about Liz Cheney.
the
Senator.
president has
You know what
called
we
for
should
this-
be worried about?
Ms. Bondi,
The
please
crime rate
answer
in
my
California
questions.
right now
You
is
are
through
aware,
the roof.
Ms. Bondi,
Your
my-
robberies
Ms.
are
Bondi,
87%
my
higher
question-
than the national
my question
average.
is this.
That's what I
My
want to
question
be
is
focused
this.
on, Senator.
Do you have the
If I'm
power to
confirmed
say
as
no to the
Attorney
president?
General.
And what you're suggesting today by your non-answer is you don't have the independence to say no to the president. So let me ask you a different
Why didn't you
question.
ask
It
questions
also
if that's what
requires
you're gonna
you,
get?
if you're going to be a good attorney general, to be able to tell hard truths to the president. So,
well, that's one thing you're not familiar with. I can tell you that.
Yeah,
my
liar.
questions now are, can you tell hard truths to the president? So let me start with an easy truth that you could speak to the president. Can you tell him that Donald Trump lost the 2020 election? Can you say that?
Oh my
You have
God,
the
you're still
independence
on
to
this?
say that. You have the gravitas.
What does that have to do with her job?
That has nothing.
It's just talking points. It's all
the
talking
stature,
points.
the intestinal fortitude to say, Donald Trump, you lost the 2020 election. Can you tell us that here today?
Senator, what I can tell you is I will never play politics. You're trying to engage me in a gotcha. I
No,
won't
I'm just
do it.
asking a simple
I
question.
won't play
If you can
politics
speak truth
with any
to
ongoing
power. So let me ask you another.
like you did
let
leaking
me-
your
let me ask
colleague
you,
Devin Nunes's
if,
memo.
if you can't answer the question, let me ask you a different, what should be a simple truth, not a hard one. Was there massive fraud affecting the result of the 2020 election?
Yes.
Or no?
Yes.
You know how
Senator,
to wait. Hang on a second,
I'm
Marlene.
glad
I got to point this out. You notice how he asked that question. Massive fraud. Is there any evidence of massive fraud? Not if there was fraud, because there was, but massive fraud. He
There
has
was
to say it that way because he's asking in a not factual question. Because there was no massive fraud, but there
But
was
there was
fraud.
massive fraud, though. But there was massive fraud. What do you consider? I consider massive over 30,000 differences. That's massive.
Yeah.
That's enough to swing at least one state. You swing
But
one
they will
state,
never
you
admit
win
that.
the election. That's massive fraud.
Yeah, but they will never admit that. They say that's small fraud, not big fraud.
If you can swing an election because you lied about something, that is massive. Because now you're talking about the difference between a policy that puts us in war and a policy that doesn't. That's massive.
Yep. Or was it a massive
Adam
fraud
Schiff?
to-
Adam Schiff is one of those people. I wish a freight train would. like legit.
like-
It's coming. Their days are numbered, man. And he knows it. You can see in his face. He's sweating. He's asking her all these hypotheticals because he's worried about himself. That 2020 election, question had nothing to do with him getting already elected in 2024. He's worried about if they're actually coming after him with all his corruption. That's what he's worried about. He can care less about Liz Cheney.
And my question would be like, where was the Senate when it was obvious that Biden couldn't run the country anymore? Why didn't they try to invoke the 25th Amendment? Where were you when you didn't push back on the president when he was obviously a problem? He was obviously a problem. Everybody knew he was a problem.
Because they were getting their way.
Yep.
Yeah.
He was just a mouthpiece, and they were getting what they wanted done. They got the damage done to the country they wanted. They got their pockets filled. Everybody got enriched. They didn't care about the American population. They got what they wanted done. They got the agenda ridden through. They got children hurt. They got families destroyed. They got people's lives taken away. They did exactly what they were planning to do. That's why they never tried to talk about Biden, because if they only detracted to what was going on with him, it would take away from what they were trying to do. They couldn't afford that at all.
Yeah. Why is it bad to investigate these people? Why can't we kick a nest once in a while to see if bees come out? You know what I mean? Like, let's kick it and see what happens. You know what I mean? Like that we
If
should be
nothing's to
investigating
hide.
these people at least every 10 years, at the very least, to at least audit them to see what they're doing.
I just don't know if you got none to hide. Why are you afraid of investigations?
Yeah.
You did nothing wrong, right? Investigate me. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Feel free. Investigate away. That's what, if I was Liz Cheney, if you don't have none to hide, tell them to investigate you.
Yeah.
None of y'all want to be investigated because you know what's
And
going to
that's the thing that upsets me about Donald Trump is that if he was any other person that was actually as bad as they think he is, they would have had so much dirt on him just by the amount of investigations they performed and wiretapping and all the other things that they did do with this guy. He would have gone down a long time ago, but because he was clean and they thought he was dirty, because they believe their own propaganda, they thought they could get him on something. So they had to make something up in order for it to work. But I bet if you went through these people's financials, you would find a lot of things that don't add up and a lot of places that they shouldn't be.
Right. Overall, I'm pleased that at least a few of the nominees have gone through. Jaylee had to dip. Sorry, people. Jaylee had to dip. I'm glad that we got a few through. But like to your points, the key right now is getting the intelligence community under our belt. I think once we have that, they will have no more groundwork to try and stop Trump. I think what he can do with that much power is amazing, and I think he'll end up to make a good crack into the deep state. The best option right now will be cash. If Patel even remotely steps foot in there, it's over.
I can't wait.
He has no off switch, and I'm here for it.
Yep.
I'm waiting for that to happen because I don't even want to think of how many people are going to start scampering.
I know.
away.
I can't wait.
That is
Let's
the
get it
funny thing
done.
to me is like, for such a absolute racist, he has a lot of colored people in his cabinet that he's putting in very high positions, right?
And women.
Yeah.
And women.
Such a sexist. He has like 5 women that he's nominated for key positions too. Ain't that weird?
Yeah.
What a sexist he is.
I know. What a terrible
dirty,
person.
dirty misogynist and other kind of ists that he is. Now, we should make a shirt. Trump is a ist, and you file a blank, and you just
where they can write it with magic marker.
You want, yeah.
Magic marker ist.
They can write it with magic marker. That'd be great.
Trump is a
insert words here.
Insert words here. Crazy stuff. In any case, y'all enjoy your weekend. We'll be back come Monday. A lot might happen over the weekend because he's moving at bullet train speed right now. And I don't think he's here. And I keep telling people this time around, Michael and I, well, in fact, all of us said it. He ain't coming to play this time. He's coming with gloves off. This is a bare knuckle fight. He don't got no other terms to worry about. He don't got no more investigations to worry about. They can't bring nothing back at him no more. Once this is going, I anticipate some very rowdy people going to start kicking up, and you might see some snails and snakes and all kinds of vermin start running. And I'm here for it.
Yep.
And I really do hope it starts happening because, man alive, I don't think he's here to play. I don't think he's here to play this time. He petty.
Facts.
Agreed.
But we'll be back on Monday. Too Strong will be live tonight in less than an hour, 45 minutes. So come check us out. We'll catch you guys come Monday. We are out, Savage Patriots. Peace.